I'm super excited about this episode. Ever since I heard of this recipe many years ago, I've been wanting to try it. And to be honest, I normally don't like to set myself up to failure, and I haven't even tried this recipe myself. Only heard of it in storybooks and seen a picture of it. But that doesn't mean that I'm gonna try my absolute best to recreate this old dish. I'm gonna recreate this Swedish dish using old history books and recipes from people I've known have eaten it. So, without further ado, let's cook Swedish Kalvdans. For those who know me, I collect old Swedish cookbooks. Some of these are more than 100 years old, some are the young ones, so to say, is around 50, I believe. I'm gonna skim through these ones to see what difference between the recipes and how I'm gonna prepare mine. I have an idea, but I want to verify it with the old goodies, so to say. And of course, we've been with the Bible when it comes to Swedish husmanskost, according to me at least. Tore Wetmans Svensk husmanskost. This is one of the most younger cookbooks. It's printed in 67, but still should be doing fine. Here is Tore Wetman, Legend. There we go, 218. And yeah, here it is. In many farms, when the cattle has given a calf, we got so-called raw milk, it says, but it's a bad translation, I believe. And we made a dessert by it. Okay, so this is a little bit different because the recipe I've seen, they use milk, but I think the milk back in the days was a lot of fatter than it is at the moment, so But yeah, cardamom, I've seen cinnamon as well, but cardamom I think the thing is gonna go with here as well. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. There are some variations here. It doesn't mention egg up here, but although depending on if it's too loosey-goosey, you can add an egg yolk. That's pretty interesting as well. Also, this cooking varies a little bit what I've seen and what I've heard as well, which is kind of interesting, I think. He boils it a little bit over low fire, it says, and then he puts it in the oven. So I guess it's for reducing a little bit out of the water. The recipe I've seen though, and what I've heard, is use the oven straight. Maybe I can do two versions and see the difference. That would be interesting. Served along with berries and whipped cream. Interesting. Let's look in another one. Stora kokboken. And as you can see, this is from 1933, so what is it? 89 years old or something? This index is a little bit funny because calf, which I'm looking for, kalv, it only listed dishes with calf in it. So maybe this goes under dessert, maybe? Okay, so here we maybe got something. We got it under cheese and calf. 485. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is an index, so this is the number. Oh, sorry, I actually got 4 of them. Maybe 485 it says. Look at these pictures, they're so beautiful. I really need to cook these old ones. Here we go for kalvost. This is pretty interesting because this has calf cheese. Let's see how it cooks. Oh, that's interesting. You can bury it with cardamom or 10 grinded bitter almond, so nuts, or 5 cardamom. So it's interesting. There's 3 variations. I've never seen actually with the bitter almond, so that's kind of interesting. Cool. Let's see the difference in cooking. Okay, so 2 different recipes, but pretty much it's the same thing. A little bit cream, milk, but the adments varies though, which I find kind of interesting actually. See if we can find it in the last cookbooks. Here is one of my more beautiful cookbooks, Hemmets cookbook, which means pretty much the home's cookbook. This is also interesting. 1929. So now I know as well that it can be cooked. Look at these pictures in the back. Yeah, gotta love old cookbooks. Beautiful. Almost want to make a painting of this one. Side note here, but I wonder also if the cuts has varied a little bit during the years. Probably has. This index is also one of those harder ones. Meat dishes, soups, and so on. I guess this goes under dessert, I hope. Desserts. Funny to see also some blancmange. There's some French influences even back in the day. Creme brulee. I'm sorry to say, but I can't find it in this cookbook. but a lot of fun, interesting recipes actually. So as I said, if you want me to cook some of these old school recipes, leave a comment down below so I know, and we'll sure to find a nice funny recipe. So the moment of truth, here it is. Not only do you need to know a farmer that has milking cows, you need to be kind of friend with the farmer, so the farmer let you take some of the milk when the baby is just born or the calf is just born. For all you vegans out there, no, we're not taking the milk from the calf. We only take this milk once the calf has been nice and fed and is nice and happy. Then we can take the spare milk that's left. And since we almost lost touch with where meat and milk and vegetables comes from, it makes everything even more hard. Super excited about this. This is one of the most Swedish desserts you will ever find, I promise you that. Without further ado, I'm gonna cook 2 versions of this Kalvdans. So the recipe says whisk everything together before you cook it, so this is what I will do. Let's start with the raw milk. Gonna use half here and half for the other recipe. I'm gonna add the sugar, 3 tablespoons. And the recipe actually says add cardamom and cinnamon, but I really love cardamom more than cinnamon, so I'm gonna add quite a lot more cardamom and a touch of cinnamon. I love that cardamom smell, and just a touch here of cinnamon. And let's put this in a pot, and the recipe says cook it on low fire, so it actually says that. So I'm putting it on very low. And I'm cooking here on a 3 of 10 scale heat here. And I think one thing that's pretty interesting with pretty much all these recipes is that there's no cooking times and no temperatures. There's only, as in this recipe, it says cook it on a low fire. So yeah, you need to figure out yourself. But that's really what cooking is also. It depends on what ingredients you have and all these other factors. Look, smell and taste, that's what cooking is all about. So use your common sense and you should be good. While we wait now, I'm gonna preheat the oven on 150 Celsius or this much. And please comment down below if you're eating this dish and how you like it. Like it more firm, loose, with egg, without egg, and so on. I'm actually turning it off now. I think I'm gonna actually try to put 1 yellow egg yolk in. Since we have so beautiful eggs, I will do this. If you're in a city and have bought real quality egg, I recommend it as well. Here we have an egg yolk from our nice beautiful eggs, or hens outside. And you see that color? Beautiful. It's actually looking quite nice now. Beautiful. This other one we're gonna use only the oven here and see how that goes. Gonna do pretty much the same way here. Then we're gonna add our sweetener, 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm going with the same mixture here. Cardamom and a touch of cinnamon. And let's mix this up. Let's pour this bad boy in. Here we have it. Both of our Kalvdans. Gonna cook them in the oven now. And to a reminder, this is the one I cooked in advance. Also added 1 egg yolk. So it will be much firmer, I believe, and it's a little bit more yellow in color as well, or orange in color, because of the nice egg yolk we had from our hens. This is the one without an egg yolk and not cooked in advance. It's gonna be interesting to see the difference, and also consistency and maybe flavor difference as well. I'm too excited, so let's put these bad boys in the oven. These bad boys is now ready. I'm gonna let them to cool down a little bit. I'm gonna cover them with this towel just to be safe. This bad boy with a yellow egg yolk. Maybe I cooked it a little bit too long actually. It's a little bit grainy, or that's because of the egg. and the pre-cooking, so to say. Not sure. This one is almost a little bit more sweeter and more flavor in it actually. Let's taste this. This one that I didn't cook before has a really nice creamy texture, almost like a creme brulee, and it also got quite a mild milky taste to it. Good sweet balance and nice spices from the cardamom and the cinnamon. So in conclusion, if you don't cook it in advance, you can get a nice texture, a nice surface. If you cook it in advance, you get a little bit more of a compact flavor, but the texture is maybe not that great. Or actually I overcooked it, I can admit that as well. But the first time I cooked it, and there's no times and degrees on how much to cook it, so a little bit try and error here. I think a combination of this in the future will be the perfect Kalvdans for me, at least. I would be more than happy to cook some recipes from the old school cookbook, so if you like that, write a comment down below or a DM here on Instagram. If you liked this video and got inspired and want to support my journey here on YouTube, what you can do is hit that subscribe button and bell button down below. If you've got any friends and family that might be interested in this kind of Swedish food, and for this example older Swedish food recipe, please share this link to a friend, and that really helps me out. And I just want to say that I'm so grateful for all the support lately, and thank you so much for that. Guys, without further ado, thank you so much and have a wonderful day.